Welcome to Elden Ring, but I can only level up my strength. We made our character. Didn't really know how to name him, but named him Strong. I feel like it fits his vibe. We don't meet up with the drafted Scion. Take him on. He meets strict work of us. But after that, we wake up in a cave, and we're in Limgrave. Pretty peaceful place. So we just move along the path and eventually meet who's going to be helping us through this entire run. Our nice old maiden, Melina. After grabbing Torn from her, we grab the map fragment and a little thing. Then we head over to Mistwood Ruins, where we grab the Axe Talisman, which buffs our charge attacks by 10%. Then we go across the way to the Minor Archery. That's where we grab the Spike Track Tier, which buffs our charge attacks even more for 3 minutes after using it for 15%. Then we head over to Fort Height, where there we grabbed our first half of the Dectus Medallion. We run over to the Third Church of America, where here we grab the Philosopher Wanderer's Physic. This allows us to use the buffs from the crack tiers, the crystal tiers. I don't really remember the name too much. You basically put 2 in, you're able to use them. Then we go to Caelid, where I don't like to spend a lot of time here, so we start grab the stuff we need. We grab a map fragment from here. Then we head up to Fort Ferrith, where we grab the second half of the Dectus Medallion and Radagon's Sword Seal. I expected to use the Radagon's Sword Seal a lot more, but I didn't really need it. It buffs your health, your endurance, your strength, and your dexterity all by 5. It's one of the legendary talismans. It's pretty useful, but I think it increases by 15% on the damage you take, and I'm reminded why I hate the rats. After jumping down a few cliffs, Melina decides to take us to the Round Table Hold, where here we don't really need much at the time, so we go to cheese the Knight's Cavalry, but he decided he didn't want to be cheesed. But then, after worrying about the camera some more, when I was trying to cheese him again, he killed me. But he decided to join us. Jumped on the cliff himself. After grabbing our runes back, we put all the runes into strength. Then we head on to the other side of Caelid, we grab the Nat's map fragment, and we go down the path and get killed by a nice little doggy. He decided he didn't want me to go that time. But then after making it past him, we go and grab Cragblade. Cragblade gives a buff to physical damage by 15% and stance damage by 10%. After going back to Limgrave and going to the Storm Gate, we grab the Strength Now Crystal Tier, which will level our strength up by 10 levels. Then we go and grab the map fragment and learning on the late. Then we go to Boilprawn Shack. After battling the guy who owns the place, I guess, we hit his weapon, Iron Ball. It's a really good heavy, so that's why we run it in the early game for this build. But then we go and grab the Nets map fragment in the Ring of the Lakes. And then we have to head over to this dragon to grab the key for the main academy, I think is what it is. We put Cragblade onto our weapon with the heavy affinity, which buffs the scaling with strength. Then we head to regular Lutaria Crystal Tunnel, where we will be defeating the boss down here to get an item. And this is when I remembered I didn't put the crystal tears into my Midst of Wonders Physic, but that's not important. After we defeat this boss, we get the Smithy Stone Bellbearing 1, which grants us the ability from the Twin Maiden Husk, after giving it to them, to buy the Smithing Stone 1 and Smithing Stone 2, which we'll be using to level up a weapon, but not yet. So after putting the stuff into the Midst of Wonders Physic, we go to the Grand Lift of Dectus, go up it, into the Atlas Plateau. We then go grab our first map fragment, and then right after we go deeper into the place to grab our second one at the temporal outskirts. Then we go down to the sealed tunnel, destroy an invisible wall, and grab the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 2, which will allow us to buy Smithing Stones 3 and 4. We go to Huge, and we level up our weapons to level 12. Then we go to fight our first main boss, Margit. After having an embarrassing defeat by him, we go back and I don't know, we kind of destroy him. He didn't really have a chance. Once he's defeated, he drops a Talisman's Pouch, which we will be using right now. At the High Road Cave, we jump down a few holes. Then we have to make a few risky jumps. But once we're done with all that, we finally get greeted with the boss of the cave, the Guardian Golem. Pretty simple boss fight, just attack the fiend, knock him down, and finish him off. Once you finally defeat him, he drops the Blue Dancer Charm, which depending on how much equipment you have, it buffs, or like how much weight you have, or like equipped to you, you get a damage buff. We killed the guy who steals our runes and lost us in this room. Didn't feel like dealing with that. Then we make a little nice shortcut to Godric. Saves a good amount of time. And you don't have to deal with birds as much. Then I'm surely reminded why I hate dogs in this game. Don't know why they were invented. But, you meet Godric. And, needless to say, he's not hard. He's pretty telegraphed. I love his voice lines, his cutscenes. But, ultimately, he's not a hard boss. Especially if you do a lot of damage, you kind of just break him. So once we enter second phase, it's very simple. Just run right to him, and yeah, he doesn't really have much of a defense here. Once Godric is defeated, he gives us his remembrance. We use it to gain some extra souls, runes. Then we level up our strength. We go back to the academy, and we're greeted with the two worst bodyguards of the academy we've ever seen in our entire lives. They do nothing. Then, another reason why I hate dogs. He tried to kill me by dropping me off a cliff. Didn't work. Right after that, we keep following the path, and we're greeted with the Red Wolf Radagon. After embarrassing the Red Wolf Radagon, very easy boss, all he does is jump around. We get a memory stone, which you don't really need for this run, and we dodge a very bad trap. Then we fight the last guy that's standing between us and Renala. He doesn't really do much. I almost sold the fight. There is a little like a cheese spot for him off the lift. Going up the lift, we are greeted with Renala and the people she's reborn. All you have to do for first phase is attack 3 of them, and then she'll drop and let you attack her. It's a very simple fight. Not much health too, I'd say. We made pretty quick work of her first phase. Second phase is also pretty simple. She just uses spells, and at half health she usually does summons. I had an embarrassing death where I dodged right into her attack, but when I came back, she wasn't much to handle. She didn't last long. But yeah, the summons are like wolves, a dragon, a golem, and then I think the bloodhound dude. But ultimately easy fight. Following her defeat, we go talk to this lady, since we have defeated 2 ring bearers. she gives us a talisman pouch. She's at the round 2 hold, but then we go to the Lutz Ruins, where in the bottom area of the Lutz Ruins we can find the Demi-Human Queen, and following her defeat she gives us the Ritual Sword Talisman in the other room. It's through a chest, which raises your attack power by 10% when your HP is at the max. After equipping the Ritual Sword Talisman, we head over to the Draconic Tree Sentinel to gain access to Lindell, which is where we'll be finding the weapon we'll be using for the rest of the run, as well as fighting the next couple of main bosses. Now in Lindell, we're able to go through the capital and just take a shortcut over some buildings to go meet the next guy we're going to fight. We're going to use what he drops us and what he gives us to level up our weapon that we're about to go grab. He gives us a Lord's Rune, which gives you 50,000 runes off use. He's pretty useful. He's a pretty simple boss too. As we're defeating him, we run past this knight, who actually torched me. It wasn't my proudest moment. Then we sneak past him. Never really tried it, but never really needed to. But we got past him. We head up a little pathway to grab the Star Fist. This is what we're going to be using for the rest of the run. So we're going to use those runes I previously mentioned to level it up to level 12. After leveling up our weapon, we're greeted with Godfrey. Very easy boss, probably the easiest main boss in my opinion, because all he has is like the same 5 moves, and once you learn how to dodge him, you're basically can just no-hit him. He's very simple, very easy dodge times, I would say. Just gotta know when to punish him. But then he drops a good amount of runes, which we use to level up our our strength. Shortly after, we're greeted with Morgott, the next boss that we really need to fight. A little bit, he has a different moveset now. I would say harder than his previous counterpart, but ultimately, he's not too bad. I also did kind of break Morgott, so around half health, he's supposed to go into second phase, but as you can clearly see, he's not in second phase for some reason. I don't really know what happened there, but once I hit him again, he tried to go into the second phase, but we just finished him off. Then we head up to the tree to, become Elden Lord, but its thorn says no. So we go to side race and Melinda gives us the Void Medallion, which lets us go to the mountaintop of the Giants, which we take an elevator, then another elevator. Right after the second elevator, we are in the Forbidden Lands, which is really a waste of time because right after that we go up the lift and get to the mountaintop of the Giants, where we then get the next map fragment, and we run over to the ruins, which is the Zamor ruins, I believe is what it's called. There we just grab the Smithing Stone Barbarian 3, which lets us buy Smithing Stones 5 and 6 to level up our weapon even more. Pretty peak. We go across the big chain to grab the next map fragment. Then we are greeted with a big chair. Fingers. Almost got me. But we into the Fire Giant's place. Cue the death roll. Not a lot of deaths on the Fire Giant, but we're entering into the worst era for the run, I would say. Because we're coming up on the Fair Missoula. That's where a lot of time was spent for this run. After defeating the fire giant, we are then greeted with Melina's true purpose. She sacrifices herself for us to burn the root tree. But then we wake up. After Amazula, everyone's favorite. We're greeted with the Godskin duo shortly after. I don't think anyone's favorite boss are these two. Duo boss fights suck unless they're on One's mode. After a few deaths, I remember, oh, if you summon this guy, if you didn't kill him for his armor, because it is pretty cool, like I did, my first run through of the game, he makes this fight 20 times easier. He holds the aggro of one of them. I will say though, I recommend you take the aggro of the noble, because if the noble goes in the second phase and he's fighting him and he does the rolling attack, you will become the target of that attack. So if he is taking the aggro, do pay attention to that, because it can really end the run. After getting them down to just one, it's very easy because it's 2-on-1 at that point. But the Dustin duo fall. And yeah, he gives you a long opening time when they go to summon the other one. But after getting them, we get this mini stone Barbarian 4, which just us use 7 and 8. With that, we go over here to grab the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, which lets us fully upgrade our weapon. Then we get to the bird run. I hate this run so much. I can't stand it. After getting past that, which felt like forever, we are greeted with the Great Bridge, where we fight another Draconic Tree Sentinel, like his brother. Super easy. No problem with them. But it's the guy after, which might be my favorite boss of the game. I can't choose between him or Mesmer. It's too hard. The Beast clearly means the first phase, but then after we get to Malekith, the Black Blade. Now, I'm going to say this is where a third of the run was taken up, so I'm going to let the death roll just to you. And one of these deaths hurt way more than the rest, and you didn't take that guess. It was also on this fight, I was considering using the bubble tier, but I decided against it. That way my debuffed it to the 10 strength would just let me do even more damage. Now eventually I won, which puts us into the end game, I'd say. The last few bosses in the Lindell Ashen Capital. We go fight Gideon. I messed up the first fight right there. That really made me upset. But after dying to him, I think 2 more times, I beat him. I didn't have a chance to heal from Tourette. Afterwards, we're greeted with Godfrey again, but this time it's the real him. I think second try I got him. the last three bosses in ours just Malekith I have a problem with really, but he's pretty simple first phase. It's mostly the same stuff, just with a little bit extra. Second phase is where it's really hard though. I had a really easy second phase, but I know a lot of people, me myself included, it's really hard because he's like always up, like right on you, so you can't really do a lot. You have to find the right openings to heal and a bunch of other stuff. But he was pretty easy this time around. After using all the runes that we have obtained, we hit the maximum strength that I hit during the run. But we do go up to 99 with the strength not crystal tier, and we go to fight the final boss. Got lucky from Tret. I think it was first try, might have been second. Don't really remember. But he was a pretty easy boss. But eventually, the Elden Beast and Radon come to an end. And the strong man becomes the Elden Lord. The next build I'm thinking about doing is I only level up intelligence. If anyone has any build ideas, just leave them in the comments. I would gladly do them. But yeah, thanks for watching. Consider liking and subscribing. It'd mean a lot. And see ya.